onda, vatos? Thanks for tuning in to yet another video. Infamous here, San Jose, California, coming at you from the West Coast once again. Thanks for tuning in. Alright, let's go ahead and get on to the topic of today's ride. Am I being a salty boy? Am I being too critical on Harley-Davidsons? Can I afford a Harley-Davidson? Is that my problem? Maybe I'm so salty. Maybe it's just that I can't afford one. So maybe I should just buy a Honda or a Yamaha or something else, a metric. Maybe my problem with me being so critical on Harley-Davidson is my ability of being able to afford a high-end American-made motorcycle. I wonder what this is. I wonder what I'm riding on. So look it on the comments on some of the videos. I guess some of you guys probably think this is a knockoff, or maybe you guys think this is a Chinese-made cruiser, or I don't know, but this is a, last time I checked, this is a Lowrider S Softail Milwaukee 8 air-cooled, oil-cooled. I don't know, based on some of the comments, I'm not sure if everybody knows that I ride a Harley-Davidson. I've been riding cruisers for a long time. This is not my first Harley-Davidson, and just because I'm sharing my own 2 cents, my opinion, my thoughts, and I'm critical on Harley-Davidson on what they're doing, and overall, it's just that I'm a fan of Harley-Davidson. I want them to succeed. I want them to you know, produce for another 100 years, to be around for another 100 years, and to keep on making these beautiful American-made machines here in the United States. But I'm just saying, they could do a little bit more, and that's what the argument is. Some of you guys have mentioned, well, if you can't afford one, just buy something else. Get a Honda or get a Yamaha. And that's pretty much the problem, and that's what's been going on. Honda, Kawasaki, Yamaha, they've all been cutting into Harley-Davidson's market. And it's not just because of the price, it's because they're bringing in a lot of different things. They're bringing a lot of different things to the table. You have ABS being a standard on some of those other bikes, some of those other models. Some of those other bikes are liquid cooled. Some of those bikes are air cooled. Some of those bikes have different rider assists. They have different technology. They have different modes, and they're still under 15, 13. Even some of them are under $8,000, and they're offering a lot of different things. Some of those bikes, like the Bolt, they have piggyback shocks on the rear. And then you're kind of looking at Harley-Davidson, and then they announce a $30,000 Electric Glide Icon. I'm just saying, like I said, I want Harley-Davidson to be around for another 100 years more. And I'm just saying, look, everybody's been critical of Harley-Davidson, selling old technology, selling dinosaur technology, as they say, for $20,000. You look at Yamaha, you look at Honda, and a lot of those bikes are half the price of Harley-Davidson. And like I mentioned, they're offering all kinds of technology, all kinds of rider assists, ABS, brakes that actually work, and all different types of things. All right, it's kind of like Apple and Samsung. I'm not sure if you guys remember, maybe about 5 or 10 years ago, Apple was completely dominating the market on the phones. And this is just a comparison. Apple had plenty of fans. A lot of people were using Apple. They loved Apple. And for about 5 or 6 years, Apple just wasn't doing anything. They just kept on repeating the same thing, updating minor updates, maybe a better phone, or maybe a better camera, maybe some security updates, maybe a different color. So, and that color is going to come in towards the end of this topic. So, for the long time, they were pretty much the same phone, and they were still charging somewhere around $700, $800 every annual update, every phone gen or whatever you want to call it. And then Samsung was kind of like, all right, we're gonna give you guys fast charging, we're gonna give you guys wireless charging, we're gonna give you a OLED screen, we're gonna give you fingerprint scanning, we're gonna give you 24 megapixels, we're gonna give you, and it was just like that. Every update Samsung came out with, they just kept on upping their game. And everybody was kind of looking at Apple, they're like, okay, you guys haven't changed anything on your phone, you guys are offering out green and pink and blue, and Samsung's giving their consumers all these new technology, all this beautiful, great technology. And there's some software stuff in there too, but I'm not gonna try to get too specific on this. And that's pretty much how Harley-Davidson is with Indian, with Honda, with Yamaha, with the competition. And they're still coming around offering a two-tone paint job for $30,000, while Indian and Yamaha and, like I said, all these other manufacturers are out with liquid-cooled engines. They're out with 116s. They're out with technology, GPS, all different sorts of stuff. Dual disc brakes, ABS standard. Not to get too specific, but that's pretty much how it is. And at that time, I believe the Apple fanboys, they were just kind of like still defending, and I feel that's pretty much where we're at right now with Harley-Davidson. You guys are still defending Harley-Davidson. You guys are super fanboys, and I get you guys are passionate about your manufacturer. You guys are brand loyal and everything, but a lot of these kids that are growing up, they don't really care about loyalty, and they're pretty much trying to get as much as they're trying to get bang for their buck. And when you're looking at Harley-Davidson and you're comparing what you could get with the Harley and what you get with another bike, you're just kind of left wondering what's going on here. And I've already discussed this in another video. You kind of look around and you just wonder, like, how are these other manufacturers doing it to make these bikes, and they're built somewhere in Japan or Taiwan, or depending where they're built. It just depends. But if you look at Harley-Davidson the last couple years, they've shut down a factory, and I'm pretty sure that was a financial decision on Harley-Davidson to shut down that factory that was building their Dynas, and they were also building another model out of that factory. I just can't remember. This was about 3 years ago. So they're cutting back on cost. And then you look at a lot of the electrical wiring on these bikes are made in Mexico. So they're outsourcing the parts. They're outsourcing different components on the bike. They're outsourcing, and all of this is just to help with cost. But the prices keep on going up. Notably, this last year, 2021, the prices all went up by $200. Some of the models even went up by $600. And we know Harley-Davidson has been cutting back on the bikes. They've cut back on the key fobs. They also cut back on the hydraulic clutch on the bikes. That's another cutback that they did. So what's going on? Why can't Harley-Davidson compete with these other manufacturers? And they're also made in, like I said, America, Indian, and they're also made in Japan. They pay good. They have good plans. It ain't like they're building them in China or anything like that. And they're still shipping those bikes over here. All I'm saying, Harley can do a little bit more. I made another video where I was breaking down some of the components based on cost and everything. And it's not like Harley-Davidson doesn't have any room to make a profit.
A few moments later.
You see these parts that they make are $400, $500. Come on, you know that's not. It doesn't cost $400, $500 to make that headlight. And then if you were an employee to buy that headlight from the manufacturer dealership, then you're probably looking at $250, maybe $300, depending on the percentage for the dealership. So there's plenty of different things there. There's cost, there's manufacturing, and like I mentioned, Harley-Davidson they have these parts. They have the capabilities of making these parts. And when it comes to those icon bikes, to limited run, to the special edition ones, CVOs, they could partner up with the custom shop, kind of like I mentioned in the other video. I'm not going to get into it anymore, but there's so many different things that Harley-Davidson could do and should do to give people that satisfaction of their dollar, of their money, because everybody's out here to get as much as they can for their buck. So based off everything that I just said, you guys have to be able to agree with me. Harley-Davidson's, they have to bring their A game. They have to do something. They have to bring their game, because these other manufacturers, they're cutting into Harley-Davidson sales, their cruisers, their touring bikes. This market was mainly dominated by Harley-Davidson so many years ago, and I believe, just like Apple did once, comparing these two different manufacturers, they really have to bring their A game. And with the new Revolution Max, I believe this is the answer that I think everybody was waiting for. Harley-Davidson to offer another bike. I know people were asking for a Buell to be reestablished, and there's other manufacturers that have done that. They have Toyota, and they have Lexus. They have Nissan, and they have Infiniti. You guys get the point, all right? There's plenty of different auto manufacturers that have done that. Mopar with Chrysler and Dodge, and all right, that's enough of those examples. You guys get the point. And like I mentioned, could Harley have done something like this, a Buell lineup? They could have, but I think I like where Harley-Davidson's going. Supposedly they were supposed to release 100 new motorcycles, but with the pandemic and the lackluster performance the last 5-6 years, I'm a stockholder, so like I said, I want to see Harley-Davidson succeed. And with the Icon, I know it's gonna sell pretty good. It's a limited run of bikes, 1600, 1700, whatever, 1500, I already forgot. But honestly, you look at that bike, it's a two-tone tank color. And then, you know what, I'm not going to get into it anymore. You guys already saw those videos. I'm just here to respond and give you guys my own opinion, my own 2 cents on the comments, on the oh, you're just salty because you can't buy one, you're a Harley hater, if you don't like it, don't buy it, buy a Honda. Those bikes are beautiful too. Those bikes are great. So the only person that's losing now is Harley-Davidson, and we've seen it everywhere. All the videos, all the dealer decline videos, it's everywhere. All right, this video is way too long. You guys just stay out there, stay safe. Don't believe everything you read. Life's a risk. Get out there and ride. Later.